Democrat is going to be quiet in the room because he doesn't want anybody to pull a gun on him. Is that also maybe a little bit true?
I did get comments like that after a show in Oklahoma. People would be like, "Hey, I think I'm the only Democrat in there. You did great," and stuff like that.
Keep plugging away, kid.
So fun.
It's so
yeah,
funny.
exactly.
It's funny. I was listening to your mentor friend, Christopher Titus. I was listening to his podcast, and it's all about politics. And I was thinking that, Trump made everybody about politics, right?
Right.
But I don't really care that much about politics. I'm happy that it's back to normal, where they are normally trashing and being bigoted to each other. And it's just the normal level of idiocy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go deep into politics. I would stay with surface level stuff, you know. I wasn't getting into the Texas, everyone's now an expert on the Texas power grid.
I am.
So
ask me anything.
Yeah.
Ask me anything.
Sure. I don't care.
Well, the morning the Texas power went out, my friend in Baltimore texted me and said, "So how do you feel about those birds now, huh? They're pouring antifreeze to try and thaw out the windmills."
That photo is from Sweden in 2016, by the way.
I know.
So,
Anyway,
you can tell your friends.
I'm like, I don't know and I don't care. And so today he was texting me about birds again. He goes, windmills kill like 30,000 birds, including bald eagles, every year. And I'm like,
worth it.
And he said, "So how do you feel about killing birds?" I said, "If I'm eating them, wonderful." And at the time, he was grilling something on his grill, and he just laughed it off and said, "Yes, I've got one in the oven right now." But I mean, people kind of got used to fighting about politics, and some of them will and always have. And one side is bad, the other side is bad. I didn't turn it on. Your mom turned on Fox News today.
Oh,
that's her favorite channel.
She likes it. She just likes. She also listens to sports talk just because she likes to hear. She
just wants someone to talk to.
She likes to hear jocks fight. No, she likes to hear guys be up in arms about something. Anyway, so you know what Fox's headline was? Teachers war on returning to classrooms. And I'm like, it's not a war, right?
I mean, anything can be dramatic if you want it to be. I mean, that's the old saying is never let a crisis go to waste. That's why the very first day they're on Fox News going, the windmills caused it. And then
they
after
were like,
5 days, they're like running out of excuses,
Well, it turns out that 11 years ago or 2011, there was a problem with the windmills and there was freezing. And a government agency recommended, you should weatherize these windmills for the next time it freezes. And no one did anything in Texas.
But it'll only be 10 years, you know what I mean? They'll forget about the last time. The last winter storm was also like 1989 before that, or 19
exactly.
something,
And it's not like it was 1918 when the last pandemic was. It was 100 years ago. You could say, I didn't know. But anyway, you asked me about the Texas power grid. So do you know how much of the Texas power grid power comes from windmills?
I think it's like 20% or something less than that, but I'm not really.
Maybe you were on a different fake news site than I was, but it's 10%.
Sure.
And as it turns out, because in the wintertime, the wind doesn't blow, it's almost nothing in the winter. So blaming it on those was completely wrong.
Yeah, didn't they just cheap out on the hydroelectric machinery that froze up? Isn't that a big part
froze
of
up? And by the way,
well,
they were
also their oil plants and everything else froze
and
up
coal.
too. So
I mean, you name it. If it's black and it burns, Texas is for it. Please don't go deep into that one.
Yeah, Ted Cruz is lighting crosses on his lawn to keep everyone warm. So
no. Ted, did you hear what happened to Ted Cruz? That's today. You might have missed it.
Yes. He went to Cancun and he came back and they shamed him. And of course, they're all performative artists. They they don't care. They're performing for the camera. The currency of a politician is retweets right now. That's all that matters.
So Ted Cruz, did you hear his excuse?
Yeah, my daughters wanted to get out of here. It's of course.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a pre-planned trip during
Well,
a Senate recess. That's why we can't impeach the guy because it would cut into our vacation time.
That's right.
It's a whole process.
Yeah, but on Monday he was telling Texans, "Don't go anywhere. Just stay home and hug your family. Unless your kids say, please take me to Cancun, in which case you should hop on a plane." So they showed him in the airport. Unflattering pictures of him, by the way, which is fine.
Is there a flattering one? Have you ever seen one?
Well, I mean, look, I credit the news just as much as these scumbags because, the news is looking to ridicule people. Unlike me, I want to understand where he's coming from. But anyway, he's in the airport. He's taken off. People are like whipping out their cameras because he had been on TV saying don't go anywhere. That's the whole point.
Jesus,
and then he turned around and came right back, and he said, "I was just dropping them off." But he lied because they found his reservation.
His ticket, yes.
He was not supposed to come
Nothing
back.
you do is ever going to be secret for the rest of your life.
I'm so glad that it's going to catch some people who deserve it.
Jesus.
Right.
Thank God for low-hanging comedic fodder. That's what I say.
How about Governor
well,
Cuomo? He's in a scandal and he's a Democrat. Have you heard about that one?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knew from the beginning that he put sick people together in nursing homes, and that's why the death rate was way higher there. But he got to play it off because, people didn't look too closely at first because everyone was freaking out.
That's not what I heard. Well, but you know what it is these days? Which news site do you go to?
That's right.
I go to a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, every single person has said don't go out, and Ben,
Yeah.
and Ben Keith went to restaurants and then shamed me for going to the gym. It's that's why I just don't care.
By the way, and that's
Just
what we
go do
humans
anything.
do, by the way. Well, did I do something wrong? What about that person over there?
Well, that's why I've said from the beginning that I'm out there. I'm not hiding from anybody. I'm doing my stuff. And if you do it in the open, Trump taught us it's not.
Trump taught you very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Grasshopper.
speaking of Trump, America is correcting a big orange mistake